I'm finally on season 3 of my Buffy rewatch, and I want to talk about Faith and her redemption arc. Spoilers for Buffy season 4 and Angel season 1 or 2 or 3. Spoilers for Angel. So, if you follow me, you know that I'm always getting cooked on here because I don't like Spike and I don't like Zuko. Two characters, two very annoying male characters who are examples of like perfect redemption arcs. People are always talking about them and people love them, and I'm like, the redemption arcs aren't that good. Somebody once asked me what a redemption arc that I really did like was, and I said Angel. I think Angel is a perfect example of a character with a really good redemption arc, but I also want to talk about Faith. I wrote about her a couple of months ago when I was writing about my hatred of self-loathing arcs, but I think Faith is an example of one that was also done really well. When we meet Faith, she's obviously introduced as a sort of stereotypical bad girl. She's sexually adventurous. She is personally adventurous. She's risky. She's a little bit out of control. And then we learn more about her like family not really being there, her watcher being unalived. Like she just had like a really, really rough go of it. Season 3 is my second favorite season of the show because I really appreciated how they sort of leaned into the foil of it all, right? Early on in the season, we immediately see the shift in Buffy's clothing. She's dressed in all these pinks and baby blues and all these little dresses and all these little sweaters and cardigans, whereas Faith obviously is in tank tops and leather and dark. She wears dark lipstick. Her hair is like really curly. Like we are supposed to see these two characters as diametrically opposed in every way, right? Now that Buffy has been a Slayer for a couple of years, she's really leaning into the call. She is very rigid. She is uptight. She is like, this is the way that we're supposed to do things. I can't fuck up again because she's already killed Angel. Whereas Faith is like, loosen up. Who cares? Like, relax. And obviously, this is on purpose to show the way that the two characters interact with both their love interests and their lives and their approach to slaying. Faith's self-loathing is really interesting because we don't really get a hint of it until much later in the season when we start to realize the way that she is sort of internalizing all of these things about herself, right? She thinks that she is unloved. She thinks that she is unlovable. She thinks that nobody cares about her. She thinks that nobody likes her. And she takes it out on everyone, right? Ergo, when she fucks up and she leans into the arms of the mayor, he's the only person who cares about her and respects her and takes her seriously. She's like, this is what I've been craving. This is the attention that I need. When Faith comes back in season 4 of Buffy and steals Buffy's body, she gives us one of my favorite moments in all of fiction when she externalizes her self-loathing and she's like, I hate you. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. Like she's punching herself and she cannot look at herself, right? She is physically repulsed by what she sees. And it is like the perfect moment where she's like, oh my God, I'm like so far gone. And we continue that journey in Angel where she shows up and terrorizes them too and finally goes to jail to like serve her time for killing that man. Faith and Angel are interesting foils too because Angel is obviously a show about redemption. Angel is a show about Angel's redemption, trying to make up for all of the damage that he's done over the last 200 years and like sort of save people because he needs to be saved himself, right? He's externalizing his savior complex so that he can live vicariously through all of the good that he's doing. Maybe live vicariously isn't the right expression, but he's trying to like do good to make up for everything that he's done, right? It's very simple. Faith coming onto the show really contextualizes this foil relationship because you see the way that the two bounce off of each other and you're like, okay, you feel that you are bad, so you need to do good. Angel being the one to give her the monologue, something that Buffy could never do, right? Buffy is unfortunately obsessed with the call, but she's not necessarily the most like giving person. She's not able to sort of step outside of herself and give that speech in the way that Angel has, right? Because Angel has done bad and he's now doing good, whereas Buffy like fucks up and makes mistakes, but she's not like a person who does bad. I wish that Faith had stayed on the show and become one of like Angel's gang because I think that her relationship and experience would have been really interesting to watch. But I do think that the writers did seek to explore this relationship through Wesley. In case you've never gotten that far, in season 4, Wesley, I don't want to give too many spoilers for the people who are going to watch, but like Wesley does something unforgivable and the rest of Angel's gang turns his back on him. And then he now becomes the character seeking redemption, right? Because after 4 seasons, Angel has done a lot of redeeming himself, right? He continuously is on this journey and it's like, okay, the show is about redemption, but like we need somebody who's actively fucking up. Watching Wesley struggle with his demons, watching Wesley do the wrong thing for the right reason, but like was it the right reason, and struggle with that for all of season, I think end of season 4, all of season 5, and then continuously fall into this pit is really, really interesting. And we get more of these foil type relationships with Wesley and Angel and then Wesley and Lila, which sort of contrasts the Buffy and Spike relationship, right? The externalizing of the self-loathing through this like dangerous relationship, or this relationship with somebody who was formerly a villain and is now like whatever, morally gray. And also we can get into the Lila of it all, justice for Lila, because that was a great fucking character and we lost her. Yeah, when you talk about Faith, when you talk about Buffy, when you talk about Angel, when you talk about Wesley, you're talking about all of these characters who are like constantly in motion, constantly trying to like better themselves through these very specific actions. And I think Angel is a very, very rich show for that reason. Like, of course, I'm just excited to be on the season 3 journey because I love, 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 love Faith. She is one of my favorite characters. Like, I'm obsessed with her arc.